your name, of course you're the owner, and signature. Today is, what's the date today? 17th.
17th.
That's amazing, there's more paper than there's
118
anything else
years
in
ago,
it.
the Wright brothers flew off.
Chopping trees
Yeah.
down so we can go make
Do you
more
know that, Gary?
paperwork.
What's that?
December 17th, 1903.
Yeah.
What happened? The Wright brothers flew
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
118 years ago.
Well,
We're gonna make another
appropriate
plane
date here.
fly.
Yes, I remember Mr. Turner. There's a guy that started in Goldsboro Airport down in Goldsboro.
Yeah.
And it was still a grass strip, and they were just in the process of paving and everything. And Orville and Wilbur
And the
signed his
person
pilot's
owner.
license. Their signatures, and he still had it.
Wow.
Had both their signatures on it.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Pretty valuable.
Oh, yeah.
I flew with Billy Barnes out in California. Poncho Barnes' son.
I'm involved in the restoration of a Travel Air, the 1931 Travel Air.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the test flight with Walter Beach's name on it.
Oh.
Signed it. Pretty cool.
Yeah. There's a buddy of mine that lives in Charlotte. Well, he lives out in California right now. His
Program
brother
manager.
lives in Charlotte. But anyhow, he
Knows the
bought
builder, registration,
the tobacco,
John's
RJ
cell
Reynolds,
number, number of safety engine, was built from a
the
kit.
Twin Beach.
Yeah.
We just did the
And
application.
it's polished, shiny.
And
Yeah.
He owns it.
you wouldn't have by chance have a 3-view drawing of the airplane, would you?
Pretty airplane.
No, it's just
Oh,
a
yeah.
single view.
Told my
from the
sis,
Wheaton Valley.
20 hours of groundwork
Yeah,
for 1
look,
hour
yeah,
flight.
you might find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
We had
that
one
might-
at Abe
no, that's
People I
not-
went to, that was what we had there on the ground for just
I get up here.
glasses, training. With an old-
Yeah, I remember I was at Pope Air Force Base and the general, actually, he left and then Colonel Welsh took over. He had a C-123 that was polished. I mean, they polished that thing, and I said, you know, there's just, they made a command ship out of it, but really, it really wasn't. It was a simple C-123 that they polished, and I mean, it looked like brand new.
Yeah, they look great that way.
Systems were functioning. And if the engine ran and all that business through the normal parameters, the flow's gotta be right, because you can change the needles for the temperature of the
Did you see the
year.
datum too?
You can raise and
It's
lower the
within
needles and
datum on it.
everything with a tickler.
Is there a
We
bypass
used
for excess fuel?
a lot of.
No, because
No?
that's your pressure dynamics automatically, and it
actual
keeps, the
Right.
fuel pump takes care
No
of that.
stimulations.
Since it's a 2-cycle.
It would be like
I think it's a
150%
50,000-mile
of
radius.
required fuel.
Right, well, that would be set up, that would be set up by
Actually,
the
when we get
decision
to
of which fuel
limitations,
pump
I'll
they're
give
gonna
you a
put in
pretty
it,
good
because
area.
that would be the engineering
Better than 50
standards
miles.
that they would
We only
have for
got
the
about,
engine.
I don't know.
So as long as you
Like in
meet,
Florida and
that's the
Nassau,
pump
yeah.
that it needs,
I
then
could buy about
you've met the
anywhere you want.
criteria that the factory's already
That's right.
approved it for. So I'm
And
not
I
gonna
just need
reinvent the
for you
wheel.
to
So that's how I
sign and date
looked
today's
at it,
date there.
and all the parts and everything complied with. But anyhow, when you go down through here and it says, the last one
Tell you
really,
from Spanning.
6B
Came right to it.
is the one
In
that
fact, I
really
was-
applies.
Yeah, yeah.
Long
I
wing
came
is
early, and
it's
there
just
was a
ID
way to
serial
get here
number
off of
602.
58.
Yeah,
This one, the
'cause I
serial
came from
number is
Portland.
1292.
come down.
So it
Yeah.
exceeds that.
No,
And then
I
how
went
you
up
measure to make sure
down
you
95 and 35 through Cortland and then get on 58. But I was so early, I went through downtown Central.
Here it is. The name. There's another one here. Trains and trucks. Everything.
Trains and trucks.
All the landing gear, the truck mechanisms.
Yeah.
Yep. I was in the Belgium Congo, and they speak almost perfect Parisian French right out of the book. There's hardly any slang or dialect change. It's easy to understand, but now when you go to Paris, they got so much dialect and slang and everything and slurring, lazy tongues. You have to actually almost listen to 2 or 3 sentences before you. Oh yeah, okay. Now you can pick words out. But now there's so much confusion. With
Oh,
it.
man, I had a major portion for that.
Yeah, Bob?
Unknown caller.
No weather radar here, you know. So used to raise it up like that.
yeah.
I'll hold it for you.
Where my hand is?
No, I will hold it for you.
That's all right.
Well, no, go ahead, take a good look. That's just a
Yeah.
facial part.
Yeah.
Probably hit a bird.
Left, right, forward, backward, and any combination thereof.
Okay.
And
Rudder.
rudder.
You reach your pedal.
Yep. Left. Full right.
Okay.
Yeah, I did an annual on one of these back about 1990 when they first started with the earlier ones. And they have limited, what's it, 450 pounds gross takeoff weight. And these are good flying over there. Really, they really are very forgiving. They last.
Yeah, right.
Throttle down a little easier.
Yeah.
No, it's all sorry that, like Gary, they sit there and do it 2,000, in and out, in and out, in and out about 4 times.
About to wrap up here, Bob.
500 RPM drop no more, you think that can do that to you. You bust it down, you got everything on.
Get everything here so I don't get everything duplicated.
And I says, and then you did reach over to legal.
That is a legal.
This one is?
XL, that's the big one,
19
for fat people.
Does look a little wide right here, but that.
Yeah,
that could
I
be.
got a sling seat that goes
Tell him
in.
what Brandon calls it.
Yeah, what do you call it, Brandon?
Scaffolding with wings.
Oh, that is.
That's all it is.
So that doesn't get any kind of fuselage skin then?
No.
No.
Just
Wow.
You
I
just
can
put-
see that now, the wings over there.
Yeah, you put a boot cowl skin around it, that's it,
Yeah.
and after everything's done, then we'll do that. It's, that has flown,
Yeah.
But that's how I was taught.
it's just,
You know, and I said,
when I got it, it
you
was
protect the
in
engine
a
all
bunch
the
of
way
pieces.
through.
Yep.
I mean, it's just so simple.
And the person
It's
that
just
took it
so
apart,
simple.
took
You know,
everything apart.
I've always been
Not
an
just
aircraft
one thing,
owner's
everything.
mechanic.
So it's a lot of work, and the reason why I took it apart is he didn't like things.
Well, I just go down and through, just let my judgment of the time decide.
Well, you can logic it out, but based on the guy way to answer, you can pick the easier, the harder question of the set. So, but,
The last two tests I did, the practical was like, so simple. I was almost like, that, me and the other DME there, we were just comparing it, I'm thinking, you're gonna start questioning the length of these tests, but, you know, it's a random, they don't test a project with every single subject area now.
correct.
Okay, you already
So-
updated.
You might not get, some of these guys are getting pretty easy tests. but-
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And like I said, that was my opinion, because like I say again, the thing is that the prior experience 65s, when they go to the airlines and they're doing something and they're really not doing a lot of supervision, do this, and then when it comes back out, you end up with systems that are failing because they're parts changers. They're not being taught why they're doing it. The airplane will talk to you. That's how I've always taught.
Check
Oh,
you.
yeah.
The airplane will talk to you. You gotta speak aviation language.
Whenever you fly
You don't
with
have to
aircraft.
take every panel off of the bottom of a moon. Look at the skin. It tells you that's for access in case you need to get in there.
Yeah.
But if there's a buckle or wrinkle, whatever it's caused on the outside, it tells you to go on the inside. You know, but
Yep.
that's logic. But now, I spent 3 hours one day trying to go and find an electrical problem, and sure enough, that damn fuse was blown. Because I started at the end where the power came from,
Yeah.
the ground, because that's
Right.
normally all the problems, right?
Yep.
I just kept on going, and then I had figured out, I
Yeah.
solved whatever was the problem going from the ground back to the fuse. I found the fuse.
Oh, no
blown, that's
kidding.
why it didn't work. But
He called me and said.
when I ran it again, put a load on it, and I said, well, it's where it belongs. Well, I solved, how do you charge the aircraft owner 3 hours of labor to go in for a 30-cent fuse?
Yeah, it's
You know,
hard.
but that's the logic.
Yeah, but there's a reason it blew in. You gotta
Yeah,
do some
well,
investigation on that.
But
so.
that's what I'm saying. I solved
Yeah.
what it was, whatever
Yeah, I
it was,
just didn't
because
like
I just
that
kept
guy.
walking
Where
through
his
until I
operating
got to the
limitations
fuse.
Well,
were.
like you said, there's a
He
lot
had
of
no
just part
idea what I was
changes, and they
talking
just
about.
go to the easiest thing.
Magic
They see it,
box, it's
if
slow
they
and magic.
see,
I used to
yeah,
have
the black,
accidents
this
when I was out
magic
in
smoke came out of the box.
For
just
Mark
change it.
Thompson Aviation
Right.
Warehouse.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
couple
when
of
I was in
airplanes.
Vietnam, we were not allowed to go and put
And a lot
down
of them,
damage in the logbooks.
Yeah.
Running
And
out of
early
gas,
on, back in the
hitting
early
Cuban
60s,
things like that.
you had to say it's 50 caliber size rock hole. That's how you wrote it.
Wouldn't be a
Uh,
fun job.
Pilot says
Well, I
intercompetent
was
operative,
much younger.
and I'll
We
put
had
it in
a-
there,
we had a good
repaired
system to
short
pick 'em up.
between the headphones.
Tandem trailers.
You
with,
know, we even put that
Yeah.
stuff in the
Yeah.
logbooks.
Right.
Because
the wings off,
we couldn't
the wings
duplicate
went
it on the
pickup
ground.
truck,
Autopilot
fuselage
doesn't
on,
hold this, that, and the
Yeah.
other. It says, can't duplicate it on the ground,
I
write it
know.
in the logbook.
Autopilot porpoise.
Engine always does
Yeah.
ours
No
back here,
duplication
so-
there.
Yeah, it's crazy,
Yeah.
but yeah, I understand exactly the problems that you guys got.
Yeah.
It was good meeting you
Yeah.
guys. I gotta get back.